Listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to tell you might be the difference between you walking into 2026 with purpose or crawling into it with regret. You see, these next 2 months, they aren't just another stretch of time. They're a test, a divine setup. The closing chapters before your next beginning. God is watching what you do right now. Not when the year starts, not when everything feels right, but right now when you're tired, uncertain, and running on faith alone. This is the moment where the real ones separate themselves from the talkers. This is where discipline meets destiny. This is where you stop saying, "I'll do it when the time is right," because the truth is, the time is right now. God doesn't waste pain. He doesn't waste struggle. And He sure doesn't waste time. If life has been heavy lately, if it feels like everything is testing you, understand this. It's not punishment, it's preparation. You're being molded, not broken. You're being stretched, not destroyed. God is pulling something out of you that comfort could never reveal. See, comfort builds nothing. Discomfort builds character. It builds faith. It builds focus. And God knows you can't walk into 2026 carrying the same fear, the same doubt, the same laziness you had in 2025. That's why He's shaking you right now. That's why doors are closing. That's why some people are leaving. That's why nothing feels easy anymore. Because God said, "I can't take you higher until you drop the weight that's been holding you back." You've got 2 months left in this year. 60 days to separate yourself from your old habits. 60 days to lock in like never before. 60 days to prove to God that you're ready for what you've been praying for. Don't tell me you want better if you're not willing to become better. Don't tell me you're waiting on a sign when God already gave you one. You woke up today, that's your sign. That's your permission. That's your opportunity. You see, everybody wants success. Everybody wants peace. Everybody wants purpose. But few people want to do the work when nobody's clapping for them. Few people want to stay disciplined when distractions look so easy. Few people want to trust God when everything in their life feels uncertain. But that's where faith steps in. Faith isn't believing when you see it. Faith is believing before it happens. So maybe you don't see the blessing yet. Maybe you don't feel the progress yet. But God is saying, "I'm working behind the curtain. Keep moving. Keep believing. Keep preparing." The reason you feel alone right now is because God needed to isolate you. He needed your attention. He needed you away from noise, from opinions, from people who don't see what He's doing in your life. He's saying, "Focus on me. Focus on what I told you. Focus on the vision I placed in your heart. Forget about the world. Forget about what they're doing. Forget about what they're saying. Because what God is building in your life, it's personal. It's not for them to understand. It's between you and Him." Let me tell you something about God's timing. It's never late. It's never early. It's always on purpose. So if something hasn't happened yet, don't panic. Don't lose faith. Don't start comparing yourself to others. You're not behind. You're being prepared. You see, sometimes God hides you before He reveals you. He'll keep you in the background. Not because you're not ready to shine, but because He's protecting you from people who would destroy your purpose before it's time. So when things go quiet, when doors close, when nothing seems to move, remember, silence is part of God's plan. Preparation happens in private before elevation happens in public. These next 2 months are sacred. This is the time where you discipline your mind, your habits, your spirit. This is the time you learn to say no to the things that distract you and yes to the things that develop you. This is the time to forgive yourself for what you didn't do in 2025 and start preparing for what you will become in 2026. Stop beating yourself up for the mistakes. Stop replaying what went wrong. God already forgave you. Now it's time to forgive yourself. Because you can't move forward while looking backward. You can't receive new blessings while holding on to old pain. Maybe you lost something this year. Maybe someone walked out. Maybe the plan fell apart. But what if, just what if, it fell apart because it wasn't strong enough to carry where you're going next? What if God had to take it away to make room for something better? He doesn't take without the intention to give. He doesn't close without the intention to open. So stop crying over closed doors and start preparing for open ones. Because 2026 isn't just another year. It's a year of alignment, a year of reward, a year where everything you worked for, everything you prayed for, begins to make sense. But only if you prepare now. You can't step into a new season with an unready spirit. You can't claim blessings you're not built to handle. That's why God keeps saying, prepare. Prepare your mind, because the world will test your peace. Prepare your body, because discipline will test your patience. Prepare your faith, because success will test your humility. He's not asking you to be perfect. He's asking you to be ready. And readiness means obedience. It means consistency. It means waking up every day saying, Lord, I don't know what's ahead, but I trust you. I trust your plan more than I trust my own. So stop scrolling and start building. Stop comparing and start becoming. Stop worrying about who's watching, because when you move with God, the world will notice when it's time. You don't need applause to validate your progress. You don't need people to agree with your calling. If God placed something in your heart, it's already approved. You just need to prepare like it's already yours. These next 2 months, they're not about showing off. They're about showing up. For yourself, for your purpose, for your destiny. Wake up early. Pray harder. Work smarter. Move in silence. And let God do the revealing when the time is right. Every storm you've survived this year, it wasn't random. Every tear you cried, it had a reason. Every disappointment, it had a lesson. God is shaping you into someone unshakable. He's not preparing you for comfort. He's preparing you for calling. And calling requires pressure. Calling requires sacrifice. Calling requires a level of focus the world won't understand. So in these final months of 2025, lock in. Forget the noise. Forget the gossip. Forget the doubt. You don't have time for distractions when your destiny is on the line. You've got 2 months to prove you're serious about your future. 2 months to build habits that'll carry you into the next season. 2 months to show God that even when the crowd disappears, your faith doesn't. Because what you do in private now will determine what God does for you in public later. So be consistent. Be humble. Be relentless. And most importantly, be ready. God is about to open doors that will require the version of you that's focused, faithful, and fearless. And when that moment comes, you won't need to ask, why me? Because you'll know, this is what I prepared for. So take these next 2 months seriously. Let go of what's holding you back. Silence what's distracting you. And trust that everything you're going through right now is God preparing you for what you prayed for in 2026. You're not running out of time. You're walking into divine timing. So stand tall. Work in faith, and remember, God's plan doesn't need to make sense to work. It just needs your trust. This moment right here might be the moment that changes the rest of your life. You may not see it now. You may not feel it yet, but I promise you, these last 2 months of the year are sacred. They are the bridge between who you were and who you are about to become. These are not just days on a calendar. These are days of decision, days of discipline, days where you choose whether you will step into 2026 prepared or stay behind in your old habits. You have to understand something deep. God isn't waiting for the new year to start blessing you. He's watching what you do right now. He's watching how you handle the silence, how you respond when the doors don't open, how you keep going when nobody claps for you. He's testing your faith before he gives you the fulfillment. The next season of your life is being written in this moment, and only those who prepare now will be ready to walk into it with strength and peace. The truth is, some of you have been praying for change, but you haven't changed yourself. You've been asking for elevation while still holding on to things that keep you low. God can't give you new blessings if your hands are full of old pain. You want success, but you're still entertaining distractions. You want clarity, but you spend your nights scrolling through noise. You say you want to trust God's plan, but the moment it doesn't move your way, you doubt. That's not faith. That's comfort pretending to be faith. And God doesn't operate in comfort. He operates in growth. Growth is uncomfortable. Growth stretches you. Growth forces you to face yourself, to stop blaming everyone else, to stop pointing fingers, and to look in the mirror and say, I need to do better. I need to become the person I've been praying to be. You can't just want it. You've got to prepare for it. You've got to move like the blessing is already yours. You've got to show God that when He gives you what you've been asking for, you'll be ready to handle it. You see, there's a reason things have been quiet lately. There's a reason people have fallen away. There's a reason opportunities that look good didn't last. God is clearing your space. He's removing the noise so you can hear His voice. He's isolating you because He knows you've been surrounded by too many opinions, too many distractions, too many things that keep you from your divine assignment. This season of silence isn't punishment, it's preparation. God hides you before he reveals you. He's not ignoring you, he's building you in private. And the problem is, most people can't handle being hidden. They want to be seen before they're ready. They want to shine before they've been shaped. But what good is a blessing if you don't have the strength to carry it? What good is opportunity if you don't have the discipline to maintain it? God doesn't want to give you something that will destroy you. So he's making sure you're ready first. That's why these last 2 months matter. You are being prepared for the promise. Forget about what the world is doing. Forget about what everybody else is saying. The world is loud, but God speaks in whispers. If you keep chasing what they're doing, you'll miss what he's doing. Stop comparing your life to someone else's timeline. Their season isn't your season. Their path isn't your path. God's plan for you is unique, and it's unfolding exactly how it's supposed to. You just need to stay focused, stay patient, and stay faithful. Right now, you need to build yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. These last 2 months, you have to look at yourself and say, I'm not wasting another day. Wake up early. Pray harder. Work on your body, your mind, your discipline. Start reading again. Start writing down your goals again. Start cleaning your environment, your energy, your circle. Everything that doesn't serve your purpose, let it go. Everything that pulls you away from God, release it. You can't hear divine instruction if you're drowning in worldly noise. You can't build a future if you keep living in yesterday's mistakes. You can't walk into a new season carrying guilt, shame, fear, and doubt. Those are weights meant to be dropped, not worn. God already forgave you for what you did. The only thing stopping your next chapter is your unwillingness to forgive yourself. Let it go. Learn the lesson and move forward. Some people will call you crazy for isolating yourself, for going quiet, for cutting off distractions. They'll say you've changed. But that's the point. You're not supposed to stay the same. You're not supposed to fit in with the crowd anymore. You're being elevated, and elevation requires separation. Don't fight what God is trying to do just because you feel lonely. Loneliness isn't the absence of people, it's the presence of transformation. When God wants to change your life, he'll first change your circle. These last 2 months are about faith over feelings. Feelings will lie to you. Feelings will tell you you're tired, you're not ready, you don't have enough. But faith says, I'm moving anyway. Faith says, I don't see the way, but I know the one who makes the way. Faith says, even when it's hard, I trust that God is working for my good. You have to stop depending on motivation and start depending on discipline. Because motivation fades, but discipline sustains. There's something powerful about doing the right thing when no one is watching. When you pray in private, when you stay consistent, when you put in the work even though you don't see the results yet, that's what gets God's attention. Because faith without work is dead. You can pray all day, but if you're not preparing yourself to receive what you're praying for, you're wasting your breath. Faith isn't waiting. It's working while you wait. Maybe you've had a tough year. Maybe you lost something or someone. Maybe you've been through storms that broke your heart. But listen, God never takes without intending to give. Every loss had a lesson. Every closed door was protection. Every delay was Rag's divine timing. Sometimes rejection is God's redirection. What didn't work out was never meant to. You just didn't see it yet. So instead of asking, why me, start saying, thank you for preparing me. Because the storm you survived this year is proof that you were built for what's coming next. You could have quit, but you didn't. You could have given up, but you kept going. You're still standing, and that means God's not done with you yet. There's more. There's greater. But only if you prepare. In these last days of 2025, you need to make a decision. Are you going to walk into 2026 with intention or with excuses? Are you going to keep repeating the same cycles or finally break them? Are you going to keep waiting for the right time or make this the right time? The choice is yours. Because nobody is coming to save you. God already gave you the tools. You just have to use them. You have to trust that every little step matters. Every prayer matters. Every small act of discipline is building something bigger than you can see. Success doesn't come all at once. It comes from showing up every single day, even when it doesn't look like it's working. That's faith in motion. That's obedience. That's preparation. Don't wait until January 1st to start becoming who you're meant to be. Start now. Because the person you are becoming is built in the quiet days, In the dark mornings, when the lonely nights, when no one is clapping, that's where strength is born. That's where faith grows roots. That's where purpose is forged. God is saying, I'm ready to bless you. But are you ready to carry the blessing? You can't take shortcuts. You can't keep one foot in the old and one foot in the new. You have to make the decision to step fully into who you're called to be. You have to say, God, even if I don't understand it, I trust you. Even if I can't see the way, I'll keep walking. Even if I don't feel ready, I know you're preparing me. So stop doubting yourself. You're not too old. You're not forgotten. You're exactly where you need to be, in the middle of God's plan. You just have to stay faithful enough to see it unfold, because His timing is perfect, even when it doesn't make sense. This is your season of preparation. This is your moment to realign, to refocus, to reset your soul. Block out the world, silence the noise, and trust that God is building something inside you that will shock everyone who counted you out. When 2026 comes, you won't have to prove anything. Your results will speak for themselves. But that starts now. Right here, in these final 2 months. How you finish this year will determine how you begin the next. So wake up and move with purpose. Pray with conviction. Work with intention. Believe with everything in you. Because when you walk with faith, when you trust God's timing, when you prepare like it's already done, nothing and no one can stop you. This is your time. These next 2 months are your training ground. God is watching what you do in this season of preparation to decide what you'll receive in the next season of manifestation. Don't waste it. Don't take it lightly. You've got destiny on your hands. And God wants you ready, so stand tall, focus on yourself, cut out the distractions, and let your faith be louder than your fear. Work like it's already written. Believe like it's already done. Because it is. God just wants to see if you're ready to receive it. Prepare yourself. Trust His plan. Move in silence. And remember, what you do in these last 2 months will decide your 2026.